Who would steal 30 bagged lunches? It's a question as old as time itself. The answer will soon be known on the Clash of the Pencils live stream.
Turn on the stream tonight, short stories in the spotlight. Writers bring their best to light. The story central time. Breaking down the plot, characters that fought, twist that hit the spot. It's all here live tonight. Are you ready for some stories in a live stream glory? It's the contest of the year. Writers have no fear. Catch the suspense unfold. Feel the tales being told. Critiques fair and bold. The truth will soon be known. Dollars from far and wide. Mysteries you can't hide. Every twist takes the story right. By these rules we abide. Are you ready for some stories in a live stream glory? It's the contest of the year. Writers have no fear.
All right, welcome to the Clash of the Pencils live stream, the only full contact creative writing esports league in the history of the written word itself, at least according to the Epic of Gilgamesh. So let me introduce you to our co-host, as always, Greg the Reader Peterson, joining yours truly, Tom Sherman. We are here to analyze the top story of the day. Submitted by our authors throughout the internet. So here's what happens every day. We have a new prompt. You get a option to write a story fulfilling that prompt. Submit it via the app, which links are in the comments below here on the YouTube. Submit it, and then you're in the game. Top 3 stories of the day get voted on by the public at large. And then we showcase the top 3 in our live stream and using our Storyflix technology, as well as analyze them, then reveal the winner, start it all over again. So I don't know. Was that succinct?
It was super succinct. Let's get into these stories.
That's it. We actually only have time for one story today, our championship story. I don't know if you folks are aware, but if you've been paying attention closely, which we know you are, we've been debuting a new Zoomorphs animation algorithm through the Storyflix and Storybot 3000. So anyways, we've got a lot of interesting things cooking. We've got to check out internally today. So anyways, we're only doing the top story today, but it's a doozy, and it's from Slice. So let's get right into it right now. The prompt was, who would steal 30 bagged lunches? I believe kids are going to solve the mystery. That is the prompt.
It's Mystery Week.
Mystery Week. Let's see how mysterious this can get.
The most shocking thing about the nuclear holocaust wasn't that we survived. To me, it was all the homeless robots milling around the streets. That really was an important election after all. It was only a few weeks later that nuclear powers unleashed their arsenals. It started as a glitch. Some crossed signals from a refrigerator on the network. Thank God for the SAD. The tendency for Americans to gorge themselves on foodstuffs made mostly of petroleum byproducts protected them from the intense radiation, kinda like an inside-out sunscreen. Infrastructure was mostly destroyed, but these robots hung around with nothing to do. Humankind has taken to writing with pen and paper again, because so far, there hasn't been any technology that can accurately read our writing and interpret meaning. God help us if that happens. The Oracle has instructed us to travel to Pittsburgh. He told us about visions he has brushing his teeth of New Time and the underground city in Carnegie Library. The journey has been long and arduous. The number of robot homeless following us is creating a problem. Some of us don't think we can get into the library with these hangers-on. Many have written about how we could incapacitate them. The walk across the scorched fields between crumbling 7 to 11S and burnt-out cars is quiet and smells like Band-Aids. The morning we met the Monongahela, my knees melted, my body was tired, and my joints felt locked in place. Could be from the hundreds of miles of marching, the limited water, or the diet of Doritos and tasty cakes. We called ourselves junkers to keep our humor up, 'cause the so-called junk food was all that was left. Funny, it was really health food as it kept us alive. Underground at the Carnegie Library, we met the Oracle, an animatronic Andrew Carnegie who'd learned how to write and send letters. He collected the robot homeless who followed us and put them to work rebuilding. That freed up the time for us humans to move around the streets as homeless overlords.
All right, so here we have, in amidst the nuclear holocaust, we have a group of humans journeying to Pittsburgh, having been called by a mysterious oracle. Along the way, the robot homeless start following them. We can assume stealing their lunches and causing other sorts of mayhem. Um, they get to Pittsburgh, find an underground city under the Carnegie Library, which is ran by the Oracle, an animatronic Andrew Carnegie himself, which uses the homeless robots to help rebuild society, allowing the people to be free to mill about in the streets.
The only technology, Tom, is that pencil and paper. Good old.
God save the Queen. God save the paper and
Yeah.
pencil.
If there was ever technology that could accurately read our writing and interpret meaning, we're really done for that.
We really are done for. Good thing nobody's working on that, right?
Nobody. Well, my favorite line here was, I thought it was really clever. The tendency of Americans to gorge themselves on foodstuff made mostly of petroleum byproducts protected them from the intense radiation, kind of like an inside-out sunscreen.
Mhm.
Thought that was pretty clever. We get slices, the central metaphor of his oeuvre is trash and amalgamations of trash. And here we are in it in terms of a trash splendor. It's reminded me a lot of The Road, the Cormac McCarthy, the post-apocalyptic Cormac McCarthy novel.
Right.
Seems to be gesturing towards that. The journey to Pittsburgh, I was interested that, like, even in animatronic form, like, once an industrialist, always an industrialist. He's going to be putting those robots to work.
Right.
And then we have the human overlords just scrambling about, homelessly scrambling about the streets, like trying to bring some sort of order to this chaos. Contrasting that world building, or I guess world rebuilding, would be the humor, Tom. The humor. They were junkers because all they had was junk food.
Right.
I do think the characters could have been a little bit more. There could have been more to them. They were trying to stay alive and they were trying to get to Pittsburgh. But what was their relationship? Did they miss things? They just sort of accepted the traumatic aftermath of this nuclear holocaust without necessarily. I didn't get a sense of what was missing.
Right.
It was a dark story. I thought the 30-bag lunches was going to take us in
a lighter direction.
Yeah.
It was interesting. I enjoyed the there was a reference to an earlier prompt that we did, which was that refrigerator that causes chaos, right? And so there's a reference to that refrigerator again sowing this sort of discontent that causes a nuclear holocaust. So I thought that was interesting and a fun little gesture to previous times. I thought it was there's some sort of irony in here where the writer says, God help us if if robots can learn to read and write and interpret meaning, and then they end up responding to a robot. They end up to a robot has been writing and sending it out, which is almost like, I don't even think that animatronic Carnegie actually is able to interpret the meaning. I think it's just like those sort of like those junk mails you get in the inbox of Facebook or LinkedIn or the email that are just too irresistible not to click. And it's just kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, we're still susceptible to it, where it's like, hey, there's a guy that says they're near the Oracle in Pittsburgh. Let's go.
Like, they're so desperate for some sort of authority figure to organize what's happened that they just sort of like, let's click on that LinkedIn ad and say yes.
Yeah, like, why not? Let's see
all of our hopes and dreams onto it.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of a funny little bit of irony, and yeah, it was a broad world. I think you're right. Where the character development was sort of vague, but that the plot and the setting sort of made up for it a little bit.
Yeah, it was a sort of a post-apocalyptic snapshot.
Yeah. So interesting stuff there from Slice. And there you have it, folks. That was our top story of the day. Like I said, short and sweet today, but we will be back and better than ever tomorrow or the next day and the next day. No, there's the weekend. But
we do take off for weekends.
You understand the general gist here, right? Is onward and upward. So,
yes. Yes, and
all right, folks. Well, there you have it. We will be back. Oh, wait. Here's the prompt for tomorrow. Don't let me leave home without it. Reverse Mad Libs. All right, folks. So reverse Mad Libs, all you have to do is include these 4 words or phrases. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 words or phrases. And that is unlock, birthday cake, lug, quantum reaction, and neon pink. So quite a slate of words there. The triangle, as you know it, of characters, setting, and plot are wide open. What thread would you tie quantum reaction to birthday cakes with?
Birthday cake and quantum reaction. It seems like those are drawing you into some sort of set. There's only so many quantum reactions that can take place.
Only so many birthday cakes too. So It'll be interesting to see how our authors unlock that madness. All right, so here we go. Until tomorrow, keep those pencils sharp.
And kids, don't let your creativity get captured.
Dirt on the street tonight, short stories in the spotlight. Writers bring their best to light. The story central time. Breaking down the plot, characters that fought, twist that hit the spot. It's all here live tonight. Are you ready for some stories in a live stream glory? It's the contest of the year. Writers have no fear. Catch the suspense unfold. Feel the tales being told. Critiques fair and bold. The truth will soon be known. Jawless from far and wide. Mysteries you can't hide. Every twist takes the story right. By these rules we abide. Are you ready for some stories in a live stream glory? It's the contest of the year. Writers have no fear. Breaking down the plots.
Yo.